Pillars of Eternity and the White March, the nutshell version. The serious nutshell version is just buy and play this game. Forget it if you hate the interface, just set it to story mode and face roll through it to see some of the best writing in game history. The slightly less nutshell version follows. For reasons decided by us, the players, we are on our way to settle in the town of Gilded Vale in the Deerwood, which is a little bit like the USA vibe-wise, but way lower tech. But oops, everyone in our caravan dies except for us. While attempting to not die, we see a gray-bearded guy operating a weird, ominous machine.
Oathbinder bear witness. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution.
This machine seems to trigger a thing called a Beowick, or a spirit wind. This is a wind that will literally strip your soul right out of your body, or it should, but instead you have a weird vision where you're approaching the same GBG to ask him a question that burns your very soul. But it seems to be like thousands of years ago. Then you wake up hearing whispers and seeing ghosts. This is fine. You make your way alone to Gilded Vale in hopes of treatment. There you meet Aloth, the most beautiful and wonderful wizard in the world.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
And also this hayseed Adair, who is also okay, I guess. Aloth is wry and delicate and slightly persnickety.
I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Adair is also wry, but has a chill farm boy vibe.
All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing.
They are both Matthew Mercer somehow.
Aloth Corvisor. Name's Adair.
Stuff in Gilded Vale sucks because everyone's babies have been born without souls for the past 10 or 15 years, and the local lord is hanging everyone he suspects of being maybe a witch, or most importantly, a worshipper of Aethys. Because, see, this started right after the Saints' War, and no one knows if it's a coincidence, but they doubt it. I gotta back up and talk about Aethys and the Saints' War a little. Actually, let me let Adair talk about it a little.
Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts.
The Deerwood, being plucky and rebellious and full of individualists, got a dozen yahoos together and made a thing called the God Hammer, which was not a hammer but a huge bomb. Yep, they blew up a guy with a god inside him, and apparently the god too, because Aethys has not been heard from since. Cool, we just killed the god of redemption. This was done with some help from another goddess, Magran, whose domain is war and fire, so I guess blowing things up is right up her alley. Okay, back to Gilded Vale. It sucks. But while you're there, a dead person helpfully explains why you can talk to dead people.
You have seen past the shroud. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body. You are a watcher now, and the watcher you will stay.
Seeing that weird, ominous guy has triggered a memory of a past life and awakened you. You can now see and talk to souls on their way in and out of this world as they prepare for their next life, because reincarnation is a for-real, proven thing in this world. This Watcher thing is kind of a superpower, but also sucks and is making you feel a little crazy. But luckily, there's a more experienced Watcher named Merwald who can give you advice in a fortress called CAD Nua. So you and Aloth and Adair and some other people who don't really matter head to CAD Nua. At CAD Nua, you meet this nerd, who sort of matters but not really. He's an Almaua, which is one of the races unique to Eora. Big burly guys with shark teeth and webbed fingers. Normally pretty intimidating, but Kanarua is just a big dork from a huge family of serious military people in Rauatai, and he wants to explore old ruins for lore and maybe convince people in Rauatai not to be so isolationist and conservative. I dig him because I also want to explore old ruins for lore and read every damn book in this game. Anyway, CAD Nua turns out to be a rotting wreck because Merwald has gone crazy. This bodes well for you, new Watcher. Before he tries to kill you, he helpfully suggests that the GBG might be part of the Leaden Key, and their HQ might be in the city of Defiance Bay near a temple to Woodica, goddess of oaths and justice and revenge and stuff. There are a lot of gods. They're all super important. Woodica was the queen of the gods once, but she got dethroned and also burned to a scarred husk by the other gods, but left alive. cool thing to do to a goddess of revenge. Very good long-term planning, guys. Anyway, she has a temple in Defiance Bay. Says Merwald before trying to murder us all. We murder him instead, and by some very weird law, this means we inherit CAD Nua, and the nice spirit possessing the throne is happy to help manage our new holdings while we fork off to Defiance Bay. The throne is made of Audra, you see, a material that can hold souls. Audra is like a rock, but it grows up out of the ground in like these big pillars of eternity, one might say. Anyway, that's about it for Act 1 of Pillars of Eternity. If you want to see more, leave me a comment telling me what you liked, and I'll see you in Act 2 of Pillars of Eternity, the nutshell version.